Good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You can see Rebecca's not here today. Instead, we have the Queen Bee of Cross Schools is here, Miss Christy Wheat.
Thank you.
And we're awfully glad to have you. Always like to have a pretty face.
Thank you. Thank
when
you.
Rebecca's not here, you step right into that slot. You know?
This is big shoes to fill.
Some of these people around here that are the fellas and all, they don't do so good with all that. But you can step in.
Well,
there.
thank you. Thank you, Rebecca, for asking me for the invitation.
All right, so tell me what you do at Cross Schools.
Well,
how long have you been there?
So I'm in my 10th school year. 10th school year. We're celebrating our 25th year this year. Now
what'd you do before you came to Cross?
I was with local government. Did you know that?
No.
I worked at the town of Bluffton.
Whoa.
And I learned a lot. I did.
I bet you did.
And being new to Bluffton, it taught me a lot about our local municipality, our local laws, and it's very unique in Bluffton. I don't know if, I'm sure a lot of people watching will know this, but you're not officially living in the town of Bluffton, depending on where you live in Bluffton. So just because your postal zip code is 29910 or Bluffton, South Carolina, doesn't mean that you live in the town of Bluffton.
Now, did you move here from a big town?
Dallas, Texas.
It's pretty big.
I'm
pretty
proud.
big.
I'm very proud.
When we came to Bluffton in '96, Bluffton was 1 square mile.
That's right. See?
Everybody in the square mile was in the town. You didn't have those donut holes and stuff.
Yes.
One teensy little place.
That's right.
Bigger than that now, though.
So I did learn a lot being new to Bluffton, and I'm grateful for that experience.
What attracted you to Cross Schools?
I was called to Cross Schools, not just by God, but literally. There was an opening for the office manager, the front office manager, and they called me. And they knew I had children at Cross, my 2 kids, and said there was an opening and would I want to apply? And I did. And I don't know if you know this, but I wasn't the first choice.
No, I didn't know that.
I was number 2, but number 1 couldn't fulfill the contract agreements, and so they called me a couple weeks later and said, we've had a falling out of applicant, so would you like to come? Would you still be interested?
Did you feel like you were number 2?
I felt God definitely called me then. I'm like, this is a sign from God.
Has it been what you thought it would be?
And more. So I came, and as you know, the growth, we had 180 students when I came. And I knew, and I've talked to you about this before, I knew every person's name, every student's name. I did, administrative work. I greeted at the front desk every day, answered phone calls and stuff like that. And as we've grown through the years, the position has grown with it as well. But it has been a special position to be in with the growth because you get to touch everyone that has grown with us.
Now your job is different now than it was
now.
when it came. So what?
It's a different title. It's encompassing all of the things I did behind the scenes. It's just now the title comes with, I'm a director of communications. So every text that comes out to the parents of Cross Schools, there's someone typing out that text message, someone hitting the button, and that's me.
Oh.
Just like those hurricane and Amber Alert texts that you get, and it's like, who pushed the button at 2 a.m.? Someone has to be the person.
You're it.
I'm it.
And you work with the elementary and high school and the preschool. You're across the whole the whole thing.
As a director of communication, I'm whole school. When I was hired as the office manager, I was what we consider the K-8 when we had students in just the kindergarten through 8th grade. But now it's grown, and as our leadership has changed, we've grown into being that one school environment because we want children to come in at the baby age and stay until they graduate.
Amen.
12 to 12.
What's been the biggest change that you've seen in the school? I mean, there's been a lot of them, but
there has. I think the acceptance of how a small private school can remain small in what we do, but grow. So what I mean by that is we still get to touch people. So even the growth of us. I mean, we started, and when I say there was 180 students when I started, now there's in K through 12 over 470. We still get to touch people. We still get to make personal phone calls of, your child's sick, or, we don't have to send emails and be a mass communication. We get to touch people, and we get to touch students. And I think that's been the biggest blessing, to see that we still want to be those servants of Jesus to these students, to these families that come to us. Because they're coming to us in a lot of different situations. Came out of COVID. Some come from moving to the area of being in other private schools and wanting to continue the private school. Some want to get out of the public school and come to a smaller school. So I think we're just very good at touching people's lives, whether that be the parent during I've seen divorces, unfortunately, happen, and we've gotten to be there for their children. We've gotten to be the safe place that their child comes every day and be loved, and we get to love on the families as, they go through seasons.
Do you do a lot of work with the parents?
I mean, when you say work, I have to communicate quite often with them.
But do you have a lot of one-on-one times with parents, or it would seem like most of yours would be with the staff and teachers and children?
Yeah, mine's more administrative, definitely during the day. But last night was report cards, so everyone got a report card. So, but today we discovered some errors. So I personally reached out to those families and let them know that, we were working on those errors and that we had worked on them. And so, I got to reach out to those parents. So it's we still get to be the small school, even though we've grown a lot.
What's the most exciting program change?
I think the chickens.
What?
We have chickens, you know that, right?
Oh, back in...
Yeah.
That's the most exciting program. We have chickens. Oh, God.
I mean, to me,
easy to please, aren't you?
It's easy to please. The kids get so excited. But then we have, the sports, obviously. Friday night football. I mean, again, I'm from Dallas, Texas. I've seen a lot of Friday night lights. But this is, exciting times when we're under...
You know the children, too.
I know all the kids. And they come out and they work hard and they're proud. So I get to be a part of that, even though, my children aren't playing and I'm not directly the teachers of these students, but we're all still together. We all know each other. We all, so it's been really neat to be a part of the growth.
So what changes do you see coming now in the offing here? You're working in the communication and all that kind of stuff, and so are you in a position to look down the road and say, well, I'm really excited that next year or next semester we're going to do X, Y, Z, or
I don't really know all of that. Joe Almeida I cannot sing his praises enough. He is a very good, and his leadership at this moment at Cross Schools is exactly what we...
Now, you work directly with him.
I work
and
directly.
For him, don't you?
I work for Joe, and we call him Mr. A, because Almeida sometimes is not easy to say. So I cannot tell you enough of how wonderful it is at this moment at Cross Schools. And you say future, I mean, we've grown the high school to be 12th grade. So he's gotten to be that leader, to be a part of kicking off what we probably will be forever now, So there'll probably be, I'm assuming, campus expansions coming down the line.
Imagine so. No way not to.
And athletic fields, I hope, with lights.
I've seen plans for it.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. It'll be exciting. And, we're all connected to Buckwalter somehow. So I think everyone will know when we expand.
There's no way to miss that. So you're happy what you're doing?
I'm beyond happy.
You're grinning all the time when I see it, not just here, but all around you.
But
that's kind of your nature, is to grin, isn't it?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm a happy person. When I'm not happy, I think it shows too, unfortunately.
It does.
But I am. I love what I do. I love the children. I mean, this is our life.
Now, you get an opportunity to work closely with Nathan and the faith formation folks?
Yes, we're all in the leadership team together, so I do get to see him often and know his programs and where he's going. Operation Christmas Child is coming up.
Yeah.
Lots of boxes.
We started talking about it this past weekend in worship services.
I don't have the adequate words to tell you how exciting it's been over just my 10 years, but I brought you...
What you got?
I brought you
Show
some
and tell.
props. So here's our yearbook in 2023, or 2003, and here's our yearbook in 2023.
Some more ways, huh?
It's so impressive. It's so impressive. So I would like for you to...
So do you work with the
I do.
yearbook?
I do. Pam Donahue, shout out to her. She fills all of these pages.
Now, she's been here as long as you have.
She's been here longer than I have.
Longer than you.
So...
well, who would be the longest one over there?
Probably Susan Hackett.
Yep, in the preschool.
And gosh, the stories she has, that'd be neat to put down in a book. But I would like to know how we got, and I just discovered this, Cross Episcopal School to Cross Schools.
When the Church of the Cross left the Episcopal Church.
I knew that, but I didn't realize we were school.
School then.
And then we were schools. Is that for your vision of...
Multiple campuses. Well, we had a preschool, and then you have the preschool, the elementary, the middle school, the high school, and then there'll be other campuses coming and all that.
So that was your vision.
Consolidation of all of that, sure.
That's beautiful.
Sure. So that name change took place in 2004, 2005 school year.
All right.
When we moved out here.
Right.
That took place.
Okay, so we talked about where I was before Cross Schools. I took the building permit for the second-story building here at the town of Bluffton when Dee Dee Graham walked into the town of Bluffton.
Whoa.
With the plans to build the two-story building at Cross Schools.
Yep.
I was the one that received it at the town of Bluffton.
So you were working in that part of it, or just being in the...
I was in growth management back then at the town, so when I left there, I was in business license.
Would you feel like y'all successfully managed growth in Bluffton? Because it seems like it's everywhere. It's big,
It's
big,
everywhere.
big.
It's interesting, and from my angle that I was at the town of Bluffton, I was a part of a lot of the planning commission meetings, the historic preservation committee meetings, and so I got the back end details of the growth. So that was what was fun too. I wasn't part of the...
At that stage, did people see all that was coming?
No, I don't think you could have.
No,
I don't think you could
either.
have. And prior to my time at the town, I worked for a home builder here who developed one of the bigger tracks out on 170 that brought a lot of the growth here, or, housed a lot of the growth here at Bluffton. So I just don't think, if you don't know how to get the information, you don't know what's ahead of you. You don't know what's already really been planned for this dirt that you see around town, whether it be zoning, because it has to be zoned for a certain thing first. If it's not zoned one thing and you want it changed, they have to go through all the hurdles. Yes, you know.
A lot of it, yeah.
Yes, you do. So again, that was just a good, being new to Bluffton and seeing it from that angle. I mean, I think I was at an advantage of where my kids ultimately have been born and grown up. And
Were you working with government when you were in Texas?
No, home building. So I did get to see growth at a different angle.
Yeah. I've had a whole area out there still growing and booming, isn't it?
So where I grew up in North Dallas, called Plano, I drove through cornfields and went, down pastures and all that growing up, and now it's houses and parks, and I go back home and to my home in Texas because this is my home now, but it's fascinating to see how fast that's grown.
Yeah. I don't remember what year it was, but I went to a conference at Christ Church in Plano, and that was a big church out there.
Yeah.
And they had a national conference for the Anglican Church there.
Oh, okay. And something that I recently found out is my ancestors came through South Carolina when they were going to Texas.
And then they went astray.
Well,
should have stayed in the Low Country.
So yeah, it was. So I always say that I'm putting roots back in to South Carolina.
There you go.
I'm putting my roots back into South Carolina.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So in looking at your report card, said it'll be first quarter.
First quarter. We just finished up first quarter, and.
Were you finished the second one at Christmas time?
Yes, we finished the Friday, I think the 15th of December. So, yeah.
But you wait for report cards till after Christmas.
That's correct. That's correct.
That's a gift.
Give the students the time.
That's a gift.
Give the teachers the time. We're going into a very busy season. The second quarter with the holidays and everything is very busy. And then the fourth quarter, obviously, is very busy again with finals.
This coming quarter, it's our fourth quarter because our fiscal year is January 1 to December 31. Yours is June 1 to May 31st. So this time of year is busy for all the holidays and all that's going on now.
Yeah, so it'll, again, the growth is 400, well, in total with preschool, there's
Right,
over 700, yeah. So all on the same campus.
Yep.
Same footprint.
Amazing. God's great, isn't it?
He is faithful, very
Now, which
faithful.
worship service do you go to?
Cross Point, 10:30.
Now, did you start there, or did you start in a different worship
I
service?
started at 9 o'clock, Cross Point. And then during COVID, when we went to one service. And so my theory behind 9 o'clock was when I had the little kids, it got me up and showered.
Get the day rolling,
Get the day
rolling.
So, and it was also an opportunity to go out to lunch with the kids. So when they were little, we don't do that quite as much anymore.
So they probably like to sleep in now on Sunday morning.
They love to sleep in.
The 10:30 is better for them, isn't it?
But parenting has been fun to see how it changes and how how you thought you were going to be a parent to how you are a parent. So I thought, all kids just sleep in late and then I started seeing, as I started having children, I started seeing my neighbors with teenagers and they were getting up at like 6 and 7 o'clock in the mornings on Saturday and Sundays. I'm like, what? I thought all kids sleep in until 10, 11 o'clock. Well, my kids like to go to bed at a decent time for the most part. I mean, weekends are definitely, in summertime. But they're not getting up at 10, 11 o'clock. They get up around 8, 9 o'clock. So I want to get the day rolling. We got things to do. Church is one of them. So let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. Well, I always enjoy seeing your big smile because you greet a lot over there.
I do. I love it. I love it.
You're a people person for sure.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
A couple of my personality tests have come back that way.
Yeah, pretty obvious. Pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So we started this past Sunday. I'm sure at the Cross Point service, they talked about the children, the Christmas boxes and all that. And then who was over there? Was Nathan. Did he remember to talk about Jonathan's teaching on Wednesday nights?
I don't remember. I've slept since then.
Jonathan's teaching Wednesday nights on?
I don't know.
Parables.
Oh, yes. I watched, because last week I watched Ponderings, and you were going through all the announcements, and then Charlie was good about reminding us about what y'all missed, and I'm like, I'm going to have to remember that for my Ponderings. And here I am.
Here you are. So anyway, Jonathan's teaching Wednesday nights. That's on the historic campus. He teaches at 7. There's a dinner at 6:15. If you want to come to the dinner, you need to sign up and pay online ahead of time. No walk-ins for the dinner. If you just come for the teaching, just walk in. The teaching's done in the parish hall as well. Just come in. You don't have to sign up ahead of time for that. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock is teaching. 6:15, supper. Wednesday evening. And this will be the second one of his teachings, and this is a series of 4. So keep that in your mind, be a part of it. If you can't make it, then you can go on the website several days later and you can look at it. Well, no, you can't, because he's on the historic campus. You can't do that.
That's right. There's no recordings.
You need to be there.
That's right.
What is it? Be there or be square. So what's some phrase like that?
In our generation, at least, in our time, there might be a new one.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is. But anyway, you need to be about that. And don't forget, food bank. Yesterday, 299 people came through food bank to get food, and I think it was 91 of them also went into God's gifts, where we give away all kinds of things to people that come from God's goods. They have a supper set up out there for Monday afternoons for that, and that's a real blessing. But y'all, remember, cereal is always a need. Canned tuna fish, things like that. Pasta. Yeah. Peanut butter. I mean, there's a ton of stuff that you can do. And just when you go to the grocery store, just remember you've been blessed to bless other people. And contrary to what you might think, there are a lot of folks living on the edge and below the edge here in Bluffton that are counting on us. So keep that in your thoughts and prayers always. That's an ongoing ministry there for you. Also, Bible studies, small groups, get on the web page. You need to keep up with that Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock e-news that goes out. There's a lot happening, and it moves fast, just like it does over in your world over there. Right. So you can't hit it once a month and think that you're up to speed on what's going on. It changes. So please keep up to speed on all that, and you can't do it all. Bible study, worship, prayer, serving other people. That's the big thing you need to be pushing on. Let go and know that God loves you, and I love you as well, and thank you, Brother Daddy, for coming today.
Thank you for the invitation.
Bless you, darling.
Thank you.
Go in peace and love and serve the Lord.
Praise be to God.
That was close.
Uh-oh.
Thanks
be to God.
That's all right.
I need another invitation. I promise I'll do better. Thank you, everyone.
You did great.
Thank you.
Blessings to y'all.